Well, hey, y'all, it's Pastor Dave Marsh, and we're so glad to have you with us today. Over the past few weeks, we've been doing a series of podcasts called Cultivating a Culture of Life. And we know there are just so many hot button issues floating around our culture today, and folks have lots of different ideas about them. But what we've said all along is that we are a church that is a pro-life church. But we're not just pro-life for the issue of, just the time that a baby is in the womb, but we want to come alongside families and moms and dads, parents who find themselves in situations sometimes that are less than ideal. Sometimes they're a little scared. They're not sure what to do. And we want to try to help resource them and love them and support them any way that we can. And today we're excited to have with us today Jared Showalter, who is the executive director of the James Isaac House, has multiple locations around our area, and they're one of the ministries that we think is doing a fantastic job of coming alongside those folks and helping to promote that culture of life and supporting families through pregnancy up until that time that baby's born, and even parenting resources after that. And so, Jared, we welcome you to the podcast today. Good to have you here.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
I got to know of you, I guess, maybe about a year or so ago. We've got a long-standing relationship with Nellie Ashby and her daughter Jill and the Crisis Pregnancy Center that's been around our area for, I guess, over 30 years now. Yep. I first met Nellie back when I worked for He's Alive Radio. She would come in and do our radio program, and we would learn about, the different ways that the ministry was reaching out. And over the years, that's evolved and that's changed some, and the name changed to the James Isaac House. And then I guess about a year and a half ago, something like that, you came on board and became the executive director. And so why don't you tell us a little bit about your family and your journey of how you got here to the James Isaac House?
Yeah, so I'm originally from Lancaster, Pennsylvania area, Ephrata, Pennsylvania. And so my wife and I, when we first got married, we were just kind of taking time in our first year of marriage and just seeking the Lord on direction and ministry and what He wants us to do as a couple. We were involved in different ministries as individuals prior to being married. And so in that, we were like, hey, let's pray about what we can do together. And through that, we felt like God was calling us to missions. We sold our house in Pennsylvania, and we went to serve with YWAM, Youth with a Mission, in West Virginia here in Kaiser, which is about 45 minutes away from here. Yeah. And, we served with them for about 7 years. And as we were serving with them, we would have youth groups come, and we would host those youth groups, and we would take them out and do community services, different projects in the community. And one of those projects was helping the pregnancy center. Okay. And so that's kind of how I got to know Nellie and even Jim, the president of the board. I got to know him, and through that, working with him. And then when we heard that Nellie's health was declining and that they didn't know what to do, they were considering shutting it down and just didn't know what to do. And so my wife and I, we were praying, and we just felt a peace that, God was calling us to do this. And so we took it over in September 2020.
Okay.
So,
awesome. Yeah. Now, you mentioned your wife, and we were talking before we started recording here today about your family. Yeah. You are a family man. And tell us a little bit about that whole brood you have there at home.
Yeah, we are a pro-life example anywhere we go. And so, yes, I have 7 children, 6 girls and 1 boy. My oldest daughter, Sarah, she will be 10 here in July. My next daughter, Noella, she is 8. And then we have twin daughters, Eva and Amaya. They are 6. And then our son, Uriah, he is 3. He'll be 4 in July. And then our youngest, Hannah and Olivia, they're 1, and they'll be 2 in July also. We have 4 birthdays in July. So.
Whoa! July is a busy and expensive month around your house.
Yep. A lot of joy.
Train them now that,
Yep.
crafts are great birthday gifts to receive.
Yes.
Homemade stuff is
Yep.
good. So,
For sure. So,
7
yeah.
kids, 2 sets of twins, all 10 and under. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
much. So
pretty crazy at your house.
it is. It is very crazy. So,
Yeah.
but it's a lot of joy, and they are fun. There's days where it's hard and the struggle's real, but in the end, sitting back and watching them play and stuff, it always is a blessing.
Yeah.
So,
Well, Jared, tell us a little bit about the James Isaac House. There might be people watching or listening today, and they're not familiar with the ministry and what it is that you all do there. So just kind of give us a snapshot of what you do.
yeah, so the James Isaac House, we're a pregnancy resource center. Basically, our mission statement is to be the alternative by championing life before and after pregnancy. And basically, we just want to come alongside of these moms who find themselves, or dads, who find themselves in an unplanned pregnancy, not sure what to do. And we want to come alongside of them and help them make an informed decision. If it's an abortion-minded person, we will help them look at the options of what, there's the adoption option, parenting option, and, the abortion option, and the side effects and risks that would cause if they chose that. So we just lay out their choices, and then we just help them, make an informed decision.
Yeah.
A lot of times, moms come to us for we want to be a support system for them. We're looking at time and age right now where Roe's about to be overturned. We were hoping yesterday, but, it's looking very promising that Roe's going to go. And so we just realize that now is the time that we need to just be that support system.
Yeah.
I just had one of our clients came to our center this past week. They said that prior to they're expecting now, and they're older, so they were considering abortion because it didn't fit in their plan. And she said, but because I had such a support system in my previous pregnancy centers through the James Isaac House that she's choosing life for this baby. And so that's we want to be that support system to where abortion's not even an option for them, that they know there's people here that care about them, love them, and is going to be there for them and be that support for them.
Yeah. When you find out you're expecting, it's scary, and I mean, you've experienced it even as a married man. I have too, I'll never forget coming home from church one day and finding out by surprise that we were going to have another one, and I felt like, wow, I don't know that I'm equipped to be a dad to another one and another mouth to feed and all that. So, let alone someone who might be a single mom or a young lady. It can be scary, and we're not saying it's not, but one of the biggest things that we can do to help is be that support system. Get alongside of them. Say, hey, you can do this. This is not impossible, and you're not alone. We're going to help you. And so one of the things I love that you guys do is you walk with them through every step of the way. I mean, I've heard Nellie tell stories of, being at the hospital when babies are being born. It's not just like you have a program. You really are doing life with these young ladies and helping them walk through that. You do parenting classes. Even after the baby's born, there's a whole lot of resources that you have. Maybe talk to us a little bit about more what that process looks like.
Yeah. So when we do an intake, our clients come in. If they're looking for material assistance, we partner with an organization called World Vision, and they have a storehouse in Philippi, West Virginia. And so we go down there about once a month, and they have free stuff there for our organization that we can take. And so we can get like brand new couches, dining room chairs, pots and pans, household items, and diapers and wipes. They help us with that. And so we can get a bunch of resources through them. So when our clients come in, we can offer these things to them. But we don't want to just be the local giveaway.
Sure.
Because then we have everyone coming. But we don't want to just give and enable, poverty. And so we want to train them and give them equipped. So we updated our videos curriculum. So now we have them in our TVs. We have TVs that can stream all our courses. And so they're 20-minute videos, they're updated, and they can come in, do parenting classes, just different videos that will help them along, expectations in pregnancy. You mentioned that God has given us 9 months to prepare to be that father, or the mother. And so God knew we needed that time to prepare. And so in that time, they can prepare. And, through watching these videos and coming in for these classes, they can earn coupons and then turn them in for these items, like couches or different items, strollers, cribs. I know your church, I think, donated a stroller previously. And so it's like just these items. It's just being able to bless them with that is a great opportunity. And, but we want them to have some skin in the game and show, wanting to change and to learn. So that's why we offer that program to them for that way. So, yeah.
I think it's a great idea. Here at the church, we talk about discipleship, but what you guys are doing is really a form of discipleship. When you're bringing, these mothers in there, these expectant mothers, and you're helping walk them through that process. And for some of them, they're going to be first-time moms. And again, what do you do with your parenting classes? You help getting them equipped. You help drawing them closer to the Lord, because I know you've got a lot of great volunteers. Some are right here, a part of our church. We have church members on staff there. You got a lot of great people who love people. And I know we found anytime someone's in a crisis type situation, if you could surround them with love, the Bible says perfect love casts out all fear. And so if you can surround them with love, help them walk through that process, what was a really, really scary experience can become a really, really blessed experience. And so we just really, really appreciate what you guys do there.
Yeah, well, thank you. And to that, our ultimate goal is to see them restored to Christ, like their situation, they think that might be the issue at the time, but ultimately we want to see them have a right relationship with Jesus Christ. And through that, we try to put those nuggets in there. And, I think it's important too, moving forward, is bridging those gaps from pregnancy centers to the church. Because, we're a limited source of people, and so with Roe being overturned here, we're going to need that network to be growing also. And so, that's a great need and a great opportunity for us to partner with churches like you, to where we can, introduce our clients like, hey, here's a great church to go to. They offer different programs, so that's a great way we can partner with you guys too.
Yeah, well, we appreciate what you're doing, and the Supreme Court decision here, it seems like it's looming, what it's going to come out. Now, I think there's a lot of misinformation out there. People don't quite understand exactly what's going on. If Roe v. Wade gets overturned, it doesn't mean that automatically abortion is going to be illegal across the United States. And so some people are kind of pushing that thought, and that's not what's going to happen. But what will happen is it'll go to the states. But what I'm excited about is it gives us a fresh opportunity now, looking at the technology we have, looking at the science that we have a fresh conversation, instead of just saying it, well, that's just settled and that's the way it's always been, or it's been that way since 1973. And this is an opportunity to let's look at this one more time. Let's have a fresh conversation, and let's show people some of the resources that are out there, like are found in pregnancy resource centers all over the country. Folks, I know unless you're going through it, you don't really understand, or unless you work there, you don't really understand. But there are lights all across this country, pregnancy resource centers, making a difference in communities. They do so much. It's not just about being anti-abortion, but pro-life is, again, being a support system, being loved, being a place that these young ladies, often it's young ladies, can come and be nurtured and discipled. And so there's just a lot of great things happening around our nation. And this, I think, as it does unfold, is going to give us that opportunity to have that conversation, bring it into the limelight once again, and help young ladies especially understand there are other options out there. You can do this. You can make a decision that affirms life. And you're seeing that all the time.
Yes, we are. Yeah. It's just great opportunity to be a part of that. Just the history that we're seeing unfold before our eyes, and
Yeah.
so we are trying to do what we can to be proactive, and so we're not reactive, and we want to be prepared for this. I know we have 3 locations in West Virginia. We have 4 locations, one here in Oakland, one in Kaiser, West Virginia, one in Kingwood, West Virginia, which isn't far from here, and then we have one in Petersburg, West Virginia. And so we're excited. I think West Virginia laws are a little more pro-life.
Yes.
And so I know Maryland's got some work to do yet, but
Yep.
we continue to champion that. And so, so we are excited to be a part of this, part of history. It's going
Yes.
to be awesome.
Yes, I agree. So 4 locations. You guys, you've got a pretty big footprint there. You're making an impact, not just here in Garrett County, but really in the region. Now, executive director, what does that mean? What do you do? Are you just kind of trying to oversee all that?
Yeah, so as an executive director, I oversee it, and we take all. Oakland's our main office, so
Okay.
we have the donation. All the checks are mailed there, so I oversee that and making sure those are deposited. Just making sure we have volunteers at all the locations, and that we have director of client services at each location that are just performing the same as all our centers are doing, and trying to, just keep them covered.
Yep.
Pray for all of them, just keeping that hedge of protection over them, and try to meet here. When you're executive director, you're kind of like the problem solver,
Sure.
really. So you just kind of take them as they come and try and work them out. So
Yeah. Well, I know you're probably always looking for volunteers, and so maybe there's someone listening today, and they've got a heart, again, to be that support system, and they want to get involved. What are some of the different ways that people can volunteer at the James Isaac House?
Yeah, so some different ways. We can always use help just sorting clothing. We do get a lot of donations from different people donating baby clothing, lightly used or new. And so just sorting that so that we can have it ready to go when we need it. Helping just around our facilities, cleaning, we're all out, we run on a volunteer basis. So, we depend on our volunteers. And so, we need people who are willing to help clean and do different things like that. We also have advocates that do some of our training, and then, help with counseling, in these, not counseling, but just being there in these video sessions with our clients and just advocating with them and stuff like that. So those are one way. We can always use guys. I know pregnancy, there's always a guy involved. And so, it's a great ministry for guys too.
Yeah.
And so, our buildings, if there's a handyman, we can always use handyman.
Okay.
There's always projects around the buildings, to be fixed up or whatnot. So
Sure.
we can always use that too. So,
Yeah.
we can definitely use prayer warriors. I think that is key. We just need, I'd love to see a bigger network of prayer warriors just covering our ministry in prayer and stuff like that. So,
And that's something you can do from anywhere,
Yep,
right?
exactly.
So even if you're not coming into one of the centers, right there from home, you can be praying for you and your staff, and praying for the clients who are coming. And then I know you're an organization that runs from donations. That's the way that you're funded. And so if God would lay it on the heart of someone to support financially, you wouldn't turn that down, would you?
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah. And I'm sure you're like our church, or like any other organization. You probably have folks that give a few dollars here and there, and then folks that give more more than that. But every gift really it adds up at the end of the month to make sure that not only are the bills paid, but the ministry continues.
Yep. Yeah, the gospel message is a free gift, but ministry is expensive, and so we find ourselves in that need too often sometimes. So
Yeah. Well, Jared, a couple, I think about the different people who might be listening today. Maybe there is someone who would like to partner or volunteer with you, maybe someone who would like to give financially. What would be the best way for them to get in contact with you?
Yeah, call our center in Oakland. The
Okay.
number's 301-334-1058. You can call that number, and we will get that message. Or you can go on our website, shoot us an email at info@tjihouse.org.
Okay.
They can send us an email or whatever,
Yeah.
and they can give online too.
Okay,
Also.
so they can get you online. I know you're on Facebook. I
Yep.
mean, you're all over the place like everyone else is
Yep.
nowadays. But what would you say? Maybe there's a person listening, a young lady or a young man who he just found out his girlfriend's pregnant. They've got a decision to make, or that young lady, she's just found out she's pregnant. She wasn't planning on this, wasn't expecting this.
Yeah.
She's a little scared right now, not sure what to do. What would you say to them today?
Yeah, I would just say, don't make rash decision. Take it to the Lord and give us a call, and we would love to, sit down with them and just kind of talk over their options and just let them know, that there's caring people here for them to help and walk alongside of them. They don't have to walk this road alone.
Yeah.
And so we're here for them, and we want to be that support and that care with them. So.
Yeah. That's awesome. And as we said, you've got a pretty big footprint here as far as having 4 centers in our region.
Yeah.
But these videos, sometimes they end up, all over the place, and people are watching. And so maybe you're listening today, but you're not from our local area. I guarantee you, if you Google a pregnancy resource center or crisis pregnancy center in your area, you're going to find people who are just like Jared and his team who want to come alongside you and help you through this, help you cultivate that atmosphere of life, make a life-affirming decision. People who will love you, not judge you. They're not against you. They're for you. They want to join your team and help you through this. So we just encourage you to do that. Well, Jared, we appreciate you coming by today, and wish you all the best. You entered into that role in the midst of COVID, which has been changed everything, right?
Yes.
So I'm sure you're still wrapping your mind around how to do this job and how to function and all that. But we wish you and your family, that big family you have, all the best, and we look forward to talking to you again in the future.
All right, thank you. And I just want to say a big thank you to your church and for supporting us and being that support for us. And we really appreciate it. And this opportunity to come and share, I really appreciate it.
Well, it's
Thank
our
you.
pleasure, sir. God bless you.
Thank you.